from the Advent Flame News Center. This is AFM News. The latest news from the Seventh-day Adventist World Church. Concise and credible news you can count on.
Hello and welcome to AFM News for October 3, 2020. I am Leondre Samuels. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, the global humanitarian arm of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, announced today that its board of directors has elected Michael Kruger as its new president, effective immediately. Kruger was elected president in October 2019 to complete the 5-year term of former president Jonathan Duffy. A search committee appointed by ADRA's board of directors conducted a global executive search to identify a permanent president, and after an extensive review of candidates, the board selected Kruger. During his 6 years at ADRA, Kruger has played a key role in a period of enormous growth and transformation for the organization. He served as vice president for finance during a time of accelerated financial expansion, ensuring ADRA could operate more efficiently and transparently. In the past year as interim president, he steered ADRA through the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrating strong stewardship while also leading ADRA's global response, which impacted nearly 20 million people in 96 countries through 422 projects. General Vice President of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists and ADRA Board Chairman Jeffrey Mbwana says, Michael Kruger is a proven spirit-filled servant leader. We trust his commitment, vision, and passion to expand ADRA's work globally, but also to ensure that ADRA continues to be relevant and effective in a rapidly changing world. ADRA Board Vice Chair Ella Smith Simmons, who led the search process that identified Kruger, was equally affirming. A large majority of the clients that ADRA serves, she says, around the world are women, many of them mothers of small children who find themselves socially and economically disadvantaged in so many ways. During the last 6 years, I've watched Michael Kruger address the needs of women with unusual clarity and focus, and I'm confident that he will lead ADRA to do even more in empowering women. Responding to its appointment, Kruger focused on ADRA's mandate to care for hurting and dispossessed peoples around the globe and to bring sustainable development to the regions challenged by war, poverty, and natural disasters. He said, I am deeply humbled to serve as ADRA's president. I accept this position with great responsibility and pray to God for guidance so that ADRA can continue to be a source of justice, compassion, and love for millions of vulnerable and marginalized people around the world. I am committed to strengthening ADRA's ministry in alliance with the Adventist Church to ensure that together we can provide healing to a world in need. Michael Kruger, originally from South Africa, brings more than 25 years of experience to his role as ADRA's president and holds an extensive background in international senior management with non-profit and private organizations. Kruger joined ADRA in August 2014 and served as vice president for finance before his appointment in October 2019 as president for the remainder of a 5-year term. Kruger also shares his love for the Lord through an extensive preaching ministry developed over many years. He lives in Columbia, Maryland, with his wife and is a proud father of 3 adult children. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency is the international humanitarian arm of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, serving in 118 countries. Its work empowers communities and changes lives around the globe by providing sustainable community development and disaster relief. ADRA's purpose is to serve humanity so all may live as God intended. For more information, visit adra.org. 3,447 people were baptized during the La Mayor Esperanza Week, a campaign by the Adventist Church in Bolivia, held on September 12 to 26, 2020. The campaign began in the different regions of the West center, and east of the country, with the opening of more than 2,500 evangelism centers made up of small groups, homes, and missionary couples, according to the Evangelism Department of the Bolivian Union of the Adventist Church. In the second week, the emphasis was placed on baptism decisions with a Mea Esperanza week, during which Pastor Bruno Razo, Vice President of the Adventist Church in South America, was the speaker. The Central de Comunicación Nuevo Tiempo Bolivia, in coordination with the Department of Evangelism and the administration of the Bolivian Union, was responsible for the programming and transmission of the 8 days of evangelism. They were broadcast on open TV channels in 3 cities on cable TV, satellite, and 24 radio stations nationwide, as well as on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, with a reach of more than 500,000 people. The campaign closed on Sabbath, September 26th, with a group baptism and special program, which was attended by the leader of the Adventist Church in South America, Pastor Ayrton Kohler. According to the church's communication department in Bolivia, the church uses all technological and digital means they can to spread a message of hope to individuals, families, and the entire country of Bolivia. The COVID-19 pandemic has challenged traditional forms of evangelism, but it did not discourage a group of Adventists from Alcântara, a metropolitan region of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This group got together, elected Bible instructors among themselves, and have been studying the Bible with more than 150 people online since March via WhatsApp and Zoom video conferencing. Weekly lessons reach students through the WhatsApp messaging app, and a weekly review of the lesson is done on Saturdays inside a virtual class using Zoom video conferencing platform. General Services Assistant Dalva Oliveira learned about the Bible class when she was in line waiting for assistance. She was invited by a member of the Adventist Church who overheard her talk about her interest in Jesus. Dalva attended another religious denomination, but got to know about the Adventist Church on TV Novo Tempo. Since the invitation to join the Bible class, she participates in the lessons weekly. Through these weekly Bible lessons, many people are being reached who otherwise would not have been. And finally this week, are you too young to get a cholesterol check? High cholesterol is something most people associate with getting older, but you can have high cholesterol at any age. Early detection and treatment in people in their mid-20s can mean a reduced risk of heart disease and even heart failure later in life. Do you really need a cholesterol test before you're 40? Well, 2 recent studies highlighted the potentially life-saving benefits of early cholesterol checks. The first study, published in the health journal, The Lancet, linked bad or low-density lipoprotein (LDL) cholesterol with a higher long-term risk of heart disease for people under 45. Researchers in this study emphasized the importance of checking your cholesterol levels starting in your mid-20s, so that, if needed, you can take steps to lower it and keep it in check sooner rather than later. The researchers believe treating people under 45 years of age for high levels of LDL cholesterol could prevent 1 in 8 women and 1 in 4 men from having a heart attack or stroke in life. The second article, published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, found that if you had high LDL cholesterol during young adulthood, the risk of developing heart disease later in life was 64% higher than people with healthier cholesterol levels. Are there any warning signs for high cholesterol? Well, unlike many health conditions, there is no easy way to spot symptoms or warning signs that your cholesterol may be high. That's why it can go undetected until you have a blood test, or in the worst case scenario, a serious health event like a heart attack. What triggers high cholesterol? Well, a poor diet, smoking, not exercising enough, and being overweight can all negatively impact your cholesterol levels. Other factors include genetics, having diabetes, getting older, and a family history of high cholesterol. Here are some tips to help manage cholesterol. To help manage your cholesterol levels, experts recommend curbing discretionary foods, which includes foods high in sugar, salt, and fat, such as cakes, pastries, and ice cream. Increase intake of good fats. Include healthy, unsaturated fats from your foods, like avocados, nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils, such as virgin olive oil and canola oil, to vegetable-based spreads as part of your everyday diet. Include fiber-rich foods such as whole grains in your diet every day, and also incorporate soy protein from sources such as soy milk and soy cheese, and increase your intake of fruit and vegetables, aiming for 5 vegetable and 2 fruit servings each day. And that wraps up the AFM news package this week. Recapping this week's top news story: more than 3,000 baptized in Bolivia during La Mayor Esperanza Week. On behalf of all of us here at Advent Flame Media, I am Leo J. Samuels. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
This was AFM News. Concise and credible news you can count on. A production of Advent Flame Media. Sharing hope. Changing lives.
All across Jamaica, there's an exciting growing phenomenon that has everybody talking. From the classroom to the marketplace, there's one thing on everybody's lips.
Let's talk about him.
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 This is your personal invitation to join us for the Let's Talk About Him online evangelistic campaign, October 3 to 17, under the theme I Follow Jesus, with the dynamic evangelist, Pastor Dane Fletcher, and his powerful co-evangelist and host, Pastor Omar Oliphant.
Let's talk about him.
We're asking that you register for the online Bible lessons at ltah.org. Complete all 14 lessons, and you will receive your certificate from the Herbert Fletcher University. Then, you encourage your non-Adventist friends to do the same. I follow Jesus.
I follow Jesus.
I follow Jesus.
I follow Jesus. Let's talk about him.
Let's talk about him.
Let's talk about him.
Join AFM Radio for a live broadcast of Let's Talk About Him evangelistic series. Just go over to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page to tune in.